As marketers, we wear multiple caps and we have multiple responsibilities. And two of the major things which we need to take care of, one is the consumer and the other one is the internal consumer, which are the stakeholders in the organization.
As marketers, we have to be more hardworking. Something, and in terms of conversation, which should make consumer sense.
We were able to bring that aspect of engagement through experience design, and which is something you cannot ignore in today's.
For a CPG category, Instagram and Facebook works beautifully well.
Life is not easy, so it's okay to be persistent.
What I'll do is I'll quickly invite my panelists as well. So yeah, we can have Anand, please. Pankaj, Divya, and Hemal. Thanks for joining in. What we are going to do, we are going to stand because if we sit, we'll go for a long period. But yeah, just for the introduction and just telling out the name. But yeah, keep in mind that we have 20 minutes and all. And yeah, I'm going to do this when the time's it up. This is for Vatsal ne bola hai. I'm not doing this. Time's up. Yeah, this means Vatsal ne bola hai. So we have to keep this time. So yeah, please, a short introduction from each one of you would help to start the conversation.
I am Hemal Gathani, co-founder of Zeux Innovation, top UX design company in India. And I also co-founded an e-commerce marketplace which is 100% plastic-free sustainable products. And by passion, I am a wildlife photographer as well. Thank you.
Taking care of marketing for Mahindra's financial services sector. As a marketer in financial services sector, and this one is to Zahid, I think any marketer who's working for financial services sector is bravest of all. Kali So of course, before that, with certain other organizations, but yes, loving Mumbai, been in Mumbai for 4 years. Before that, I was a Guru Gramite, as they call it. So yeah, life's good.
Thanks. Next.
Hi guys, I'm Divya. I currently work with All Balaji. I head their revenue and marketing. I am a leader who likes to grow businesses. Somebody says, what's your passion? I normally say the kick that I get out of seeing numbers grow. I think that's the most addictive kick anybody can get. In a personal life, I think I like fitness. So that can be pretty addictive if people get used to it. Yeah, that's me. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks.
Hi guys, Pankaj this side. I lead digital and digital transformation at Godrej Consumer Products Limited and Godrej Group. I've been with the group for over 8 years now and in the Marcom fraternity for 20 years. From the passion point of view, I'm a petrol head. I love F1 and like Divya said, fitness can be addictive. So yeah, I'm addicted to fitness that way. Yeah, thank you.
Thanks. Thank you. Yeah.
Sorry?
Let's have the seats, please. Thank you. Thanks. So, as marketers, we wear multiple caps and we have multiple responsibilities. And two of the major things which we need to take care of, one is the consumer and the other one is the internal consumer, which are the stakeholders in the organization, where we need to speak about profitability, sustainability, and the return on investments, as multiple people spoke of marketing campaigns. So we are going to dwell on this multiple topics, and the panel today is going to help us demystify some of these points around this few questions. So to start with, sorry, I'm going to look at the notes because of the 20 minutes timeline and I need to be really short with this thing. So the first question around this particular thing is to Anand. Anand, what inspiring work has your brand done recently around consumer engagement?
Okay, was that? I think before what brands have done, I think last 2 years it's going to be, and we talk of brand engagement, we talk of consumer engagement, we talk of behaviors. Frankly speaking, all of us have changed our human behavior. So let's start from there, that consumers will start behaving differently, but first of all, let's understand as human beings, the human behavior has changed, and you know, that's the need of the hour for brands to also change our gear. Empathy is something which all of us have practiced. I think all of us, we see a lot of senior marketers here. Empathy is something which we did practice in last 2 years. But in terms of some inspiring work, I think experience is something which we feel we created some kind of a framework around experience, because end of the day, as consumers, we've started engaging more, we've started understanding more, we've got a little more time, and each of these small pieces which we generally think as consumer they would miss is not the case. So in terms of CX, I think, and especially for Mahindra Finance, which is targeting more rural, semi-urban consumers, we call them RUSU, sound a little fancy, yeah. So we did a framework which we say internal framework, but it's actually built on an outside insight, which is called PODDER. And PODDER is nothing but the entire consumer life cycle of pre-purchase, onboard, delight, engage, retain. Unfortunately, as marketers, we always think of the last two, which is engage and retain. And what we think as engage might not be engaged, it would be really disengaged from a customer's perspective. Sending emailers every 5 days, sending SMS, sending WhatsApp and all of that is no engagement, frankly. So as brand marketers, we've done this mistake of hopping on directly to engage and retain and really forgetting about the delight, the onboard and the pre-purchase experience. And that's what this framework does. And we are quite happy that this is already in the works and it should see the light of the day very soon. So I think that's one inspiring work which we
Thank you.
On the other side, yes, we just conceived something which is very close to my heart, and it's not a Corona baby, it's 1 month young. It's called Quicklease. Now, Quicklease is a new brand, a separate brand from vehicle subscription. The entire thought of vehicle buying, and imagine who better than an automobile manufacturer himself is saying, why buy when you can subscribe?
True.
So Quicklease is a brand where we say that you can subscribe, it's flexible, it comes with it actually comes with zero commitments. You can kind of subscribe a vehicle for whatever stimulated period of time. You can upgrade, you can give it back and stuff like that. It is coming from the entire insight of super convenience, flexibility, and the non-committal attitude of millennials. But we are targeting this to people who are, and we call themselves millennial mindsets. So Deepali, who feels that she is millennial because she is young at heart. So that's millennial mindset. imagine that's the thought. So this is a product which we recently launched. We feel, and on the platform we just only have the Mahindra brand of vehicles, but we have all other brands on this platform. So I think that was one or two good inspiring work.
That should be good. Thanks a lot. Hemal, what's your take on this consumer engagement?
Yeah, so I'm just going to add on a different take on engagement, and that is through experience. Right. Often engagement is pursued in the notion of customer acquisition, but it's equally important to make sure that through experience design, engagement can be improved. And I'll give you an example of the inspiring work that we did. So Karan Bajaj, CEO of White Hat Junior, this is before the Byju's acquisition and the PR that happened on them. He came to us with one specific problem: increase number of courses, increase sign-ups, post someone has taken one round of courses. He was experiencing very low uptake of his classes after someone has just paid for once. So we looked at the entire digital end-to-end journey, figured out the points of drop-offs happening, applied our UX science in terms of understanding what's going wrong somewhere. We conducted some studies, and what we realized is that parents of kids who've been enrolled in the White Hat Junior classes, they were not getting a sense of, is my kid really progressing? Yeah, he's attending courses and something is happening. White Hat Junior had given a dashboard to the parents to see what's happening, but parents are not techies. They're not going to understand if there's a course on classes or whatever. And that led to a lot of drop-offs happening. So how do you solve this? So we introduced an advanced UX technique called gamification. So there's a whole framework around how you add gamification, which is different than gamifying. I'm not talking about gamifying. So there you can have a leaderboard, you can have ladder, point system, badges and all of that. So we introduced that aspect of the experience design. The moment it went, there was an uptake of 6x in the enrollment of classes. The kind of lingo that the kids used to exchange between them is, hey, you know what? I just got upgraded to a new ladder. I'm a blue hat now. What are you up to? So we were able to bring that aspect of engagement through experience design, and which is something you cannot ignore in today's day and age. Yeah.
Thank you. Pankaj?
Actually, I wanted to cover a specific piece of work which we had done, but Zahid had already covered that full funnel measurement part,
Yes.
so I'm going to skip that. I'm going to talk about the other work which we have not recently, it's been close to 4 to 5 quarters we have been doing that kind of work. And I'm going to talk about digital brand advocacy. And that's so pandemic hit being one of the categories being hair color category. Okay, really big 1,000 crore category for us as a company. Hair color generally happens at salons were shut. Everything was, the category tanked by more than 29%. Category during that phase. Of course, it had to have an impact on our brand, and which is when we got this beautiful idea on Instagram. Karan Johar had just posted, am I a father or an actor or a director? And he had full grey hair on him. Okay, full. People had seen him for the first time, Karan Johar being with grey hair. We approached him, he agreed on the concept, and the concept was transformation for us. Okay, and this was during the peak lockdown. I'm talking about May and June of 2020. Okay. We did this digital influencer activation with him, completely shot virtually at his place. And the idea was that he'll apply Godrej Expert Rich Creme and then the transition. And he was turning 47, 40 or 50 or whatever, just a couple of days later. So a week prior, he was with grey hair. And the next week on his birthday, which was I think 25th May, he came with complete transformation.
Yeah.
And then he spoke about the concept of how easy it is to color hair at home. Okay, the idea we wanted to drive was coloring at home is absolutely easy. You don't need to go to salons and stuff. That really transformed the way the category was looked at. And then we started to continue doing that kind of work, and we still continue to do that. Deepali and I were discussing that marketing is not just about inspiring people and brand love. One of the key and one of the most important idea of marketing is to drive business. This whole activation which we have been doing for 5-6 quarters, doing at regional influencers, whether it is in West Bengal, doing at Puja time, or in Kerala during Onam time, asking influencers or celebs or whoever we want to call, transformation at home. The idea of transformation at home, coloring at home, literally drove category for us. We were in red by high double digit, and first quarter of 21, it grew us with 8%. So from
over and above the pre-COVID levels.
Yes, over and above pre-COVID days.
Nice.
So that's the impact of marketing, and you're connecting with consumer in the way she's wanting to connect it with. It's not that I wanted to tell a story the way I felt brand out. It's not brand out, it's consumer in. And that is the impact which we've been able to bring with this. And this is pure and pure business impact. I'm not talking about only marketing at a surface level. This is driving business. So in a nutshell, this is.
We are not asking the same question to you, but the question to you around the same thing. So we are on the verge of completing 2021 and moving on to 2022. So we would like to understand from your side what kind of conversation you are planning for 2022 for your consumers.
Why do these guys get the easier question and I get the tougher one?
I believe everyone is equal, so females get the tougher ones and they are the tougher ones.
Actually, I'm in the business of content, right? It's an extremely volatile, fluctuating business. While we may sit here and talk about the fact that there is a content pipeline and how for OTT platforms it's going to be probably the mainstream of content with so many people cord cutting, though I do see a TV and digital growing simultaneously. And there are conversations about how connected devices are getting sold more and more, and the viewing is going to be inclusive and individual, two parallel streams running together. And while every OTT platform worth its salt is going to plan a content pipeline, right? So everybody's platform will have certain indicators on content genres that work well. For us, for example, it's drama, thriller, youth that work really well. And I don't mind saying this, we've done comedy, we've failed miserably at comedy, and I think that's something we are not going to attempt in future. So these are the kind of genres that we are planning. In terms of conversations, I really don't know what conversations we are planning. I can tell you what line of thoughts that we are going to work on. Like I said, genre pipeline for sure. Do we want to do something blow out of the water kind of a thing? Coming 2022? Yes. First half of the year, we're planning something really huge, really big, on the live format, and we really intend to take it forward. In terms of the second aspect, I think digital is going to explode on social commerce. Big time.
True.
And as an OTT platform, we have access to millions of DAOs and MAOs and actors and content sitting together on one platform. I would love the platform to shape up a little in that place. So for example, a competing platform has opened up a community piece on their platform. And I know it's working beautifully well for them, right? So that's one conversation or one thought that I definitely want to have in the future. I also think it's time to simplify things. It's time to go simple. How do I go simple? How do I ensure that it's a vertical video format opening up? How do I ensure that it's one-touch subscription happening? How do I ensure that people are able to voice search in multiple languages on my platform? Because that's how I'm really going to penetrate. That's where the growth is coming. The other thing which I think we have attempted and we are going to attempt more and more is virtual reality and augmented reality. I know it sounds like big words, but we've done that for one of our shows, Ragini MMS, as a marketing attempt, 10 minutes, and it worked beautifully. Now we're trying to see, can we bring virtual reality to millions of the country via simple usage of browser rather than attempting to use specific specs, specific headphones. Can I make it simple? So I think future is simple. Future is making things easier for people to access and inclusive and individual viewing. That is the direction I would definitely like to take Alt in. The other direction that we are, like I said, actively working on is creating multiple revenue streams out of the existing ones. So lives, virtual reality, social commerce. These are the conversations we want to have.
Thank you. And we have a V for Anand. Anand, I want you to attempt this question, but 1 minute because we are already at 6 and I don't want to keep the people away from the bar. All of us don't want, right? In fact. Yeah.
What is the
short and sweet? 2022 is here.
Okay.
How would you drive consumer conversations?
Yeah.
What's your plan?
So as marketers, we have to be more hardworking. Yeah. Something, and in terms of conversation, which should make consumer sense. It should make sense to the guy who we are talking to, the audience. Last 2 years have seen a lot of heightened activity on financial side, and fraud is something which is coming as a package of it. So one of our agendas is around digital samvad, which we are already readied it with, especially to our RUSU audiences. That's one big agenda. While they do finance, while they do a lot of digital financial transactions, but there has to be a anti-fraud message going to that audience. That's one. Second, yes, from a social perspective, all these platforms are very different. So we have to behave very differently in each of these platforms. The fact that you and me don't have the same DP on Insta and LinkedIn.
Yeah.
So why have the same post across all these? So I think marketers have to be a little hardworking as far as that side is concerned. Yeah.
Perfect. That helps. Okay, yeah, we'll park this question here. Let's move to the next part of the conversation, the internal consumer, which is more about marketing returns and getting the best out of the marketing investments. So the first question to you only, Anand, over there, which would be the channel as per you, which delivers the best ROAS? return on ad spends.
Yeah, so as I said initially, one has to be a brave to be a marketer in the financial sector. So for us, I think it's a combination of search, multi-funnel attributed display, very loosely put. But these are the two. The combination
Search
of these
and
two
display
is making a lot of sense for us. But then it would depend on the category.
Definitely that does, and that's where let's pass that question across to Hemal as well. Hemal, ROS, which channel delivers the best?
So the way I differentiate is impulse versus intent. So if there are products which are meant for impulsive buying, then Facebook and Instagram has really worked well for us. And for intent, it's Google.
Intent, it's Google. Thank you. Divya?
So the business I am in looks at organic and inorganic, right? I would still opt for organic, though, as a market probably in an open forum saying this and cutting my, but I honestly believe in the fact that the day your business can bring in more organic people, can retain more people, is the day you've probably won the war as a marketer. And it's not easy doing organic. I can assure you of that. There are multiple engagement activities that go into using the various social media channels, the various A&B testings you do, the various push notifications you do, the various ways you use your in-app properties, the various ways you use your search engine optimization. But I somewhere, it's easy, and I've done this for years, it's easier to run ads on Facebook, Insta, Google, work on your CAC, and come back and say, hey, I optimized this, my CAC is this, my ARPU is this is the best. The day your organic can be 60 to 70%, vis-a-vis your inorganic at 30-40, you've won the game.
Thank you. Pankaj, your take.
On the same question?
Yes, ROS.
Okay, like I mentioned earlier, it depends category to category. Like for BFSI category, he mentioned that it's Google primarily. What I'm going to say, probably my friends at Google may not like it. Of course, they will not like it. But for a CPG category, Instagram and Facebook works beautifully well, and it is doing wonders for me, especially on my D2C platforms. Both these platforms are doing phenomenal job versus non-Facebook ecosystem. So in short, that's what the answer is for me, and that's CPG category I'm talking about.
Perfect. Thank you. Again, okay, we'll keep that thing. So good insights on the ROS side. Last one. Okay, let's move out from the marketing then with the indication from Vatsal and come back to the success mantra. That's one thing which we can directly deep into. And since that's the last question, I would appreciate if all four of you can take that question. Maybe on the success mantra. We don't speak on the passion much, and passion the earlier panel has covered. So let's start with Pankaj itself. What is the success mantra that you believe in?
One of the things which works for me is be the authentic self. I really don't care what people think about me. I do things what I think is going to work for me, and I really believe in that. And the second piece is definitely being curious. You need continuously in that journey of being curious. If you're not learning, if you're not curious about new things, these two things definitely are key pillars of my success.
Perfect. Thank you. Divya?
I wish I had something like that, but
okay.
I think what works for me is to be, first of all, persistent. Okay. So have your agenda cut out and know that you have to do this. Okay. Don't leave a journey midway. Don't get discouraged easily. And life is not easy. So it's okay to be persistent. The second part is be flexible. Be willing to evolve. Don't say, ऐसा ही नहीं होता है, right? So उसका अगर quick solution ढूंढना है, via medium find करना तो करो ना. So be flexible. And the last thing is be agile. Be on top of trends, right? Especially in my business. If you lose sight of the trends, if you're not agile, if you're not, and something we called as moment marketing, if you're not into that, you've lost the game, boss, because somebody else has taken up and run with it.
Okay, thank you. Anand.
Not sure if I'm successful, but I can give you mantras.
Okay.
So I'll give you 3 mantras.
Okay.
First would be, and of course we come from the entire thinking of purpose. So I think purpose-driven growth for corporates should be a big piece going ahead, and I think that's a big mantra, at least what I think personally. Second would be, while we all sit in ivory towers, ear to the ground, is
It's
very
needed.
important. Lactose intolerance, and we'll have some wines. But yeah, so yeah, ear to the ground is very important because that's where the action lies. I think the third piece would be, I call it human to human. While we say B2B, B2C, B2B, whatever. But H to H, human to human, is something that's very important, and let's treat our people well. I think
That's what we are here for, human to human interaction.
so. H to H. So these are the three mantras.
Thank you. Hemal, your take on the success?
So, as a co-founder of two organizations, enabling the right culture, having the right team, empowering them, and ensuring customer centricity.